Good evening, everyone. We are now in Genesis 8, and we are going to review what really God is in Genesis 1 until 8. So we've seen how God forgave Adam and Eve even though they disobeyed God, directly disobeyed his very simple instruction. And the next one is Abel and Cain, where Cain killed his brother, and still God protected him even though he did that. And although he has this results of sin, but still God multiplied him. God provided for him. He did not really deserted him on his own. Anyway, but then there was a quick downward trend of morality of the people, where every living thing, where every human is thinking only evil things. There's only evil in their heart, and every intent of their heart and mind is just evil. So God has to do something, because if he will not act, then at its early stage the earth will succumb to its self-destruction. Okay, so again, the flood was sent so that humanity could be saved in its very early stage. And then he chose Noah because Noah is a righteous man. And we can say that because during that time, when God instructed him to build an ark, he just followed. For 100 years he built it, and then most of the people are just laughing at him because there's no such thing as boat at that time, because there's no rain at that time, there's no flood at that time. And he persisted, and he finished the ark. So see how really righteous and obedient Noah is. So we'll go and continue until 12 until 19. So let's continue. So he waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, which did not return again to him anymore. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, "Get out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. Every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, and whatever creeps on the earth, according to their families, went out of the ark. So in here we can see that it is God who closed the ark, and it is also God who instructed Noah to come out of the ark. So Noah was very obedient. He doesn't do anything on his own will. He waits for God. But there are things that he can do on his own, like sending dove, and then waiting for the sending a dove, and sending the raven. So see, God does not just allow, God does not micromanage each one of us. Like, what would you choose to eat today, or what type of like course you would want to take if you really love that. But if God sees that there is something better for you, that is also for you, that you will also love, of course he would intervene. But he doesn't really micromanage. He allows us to decide on our own, because we have our own decision, right? So that is how God really loved us. Just like with your children, if you really love them, you will allow them to decide on their own, but still within the bounds of safety. That is what God is to us. He allows us to decide on our own, but within the bounds of safety, because we just don't want our children to be deciding on their own, and yet it would lead to destruction. So God also guides us, right? But yeah, within those bounds we can choose, but it is within the safety limits. So God can just like take Noah out and then put him or take him somewhere else safe, and then but he did not do that. He allowed the process. He allowed everything according to according to how the earth is made. He just didn't like go there, like snap his finger, this will happen, snap his finger, this will happen. No. So God also allowed the water to dry up on its own. So God respects decisions. God respects process, and this is how loving our God is. So that's it for today, and then we hope to see again you next time. See you.